Welcome to Om Times TV, a division of Om Times Media and Broadcasting. Welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melissa Caprio. Do you believe in magic? What if you were told that all you had to do was get a little creative and work a magic spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Here on Postcards to the Universe, we will share manifesting, tips, postcards, creativity, abundance, and prosperity. Here is your host, Melissa Caprio.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melissa, creating the life you crave. We are officially on Om Times TV. So I want to say welcome. Now you can finally see me, this voice you've been hearing for the last 4 years. I think it's 4 years. Time is just moving so fast, but I am still on radio. So you could still listen on Om Times Radio. You're going to hear me there, but you can also see me live now on Om Times TV on YouTube. And it's also streaming on my website. No, I'm sorry. On my YouTube channel, Postcards to the Universe. So you could check us out there. So I'm really excited to be here with you guys today on television. Chris, my producer, has been asking me to do this now for a while, and I've been resistant. And I finally said, you know what, it's time for a change. So I'm so glad I did. And now you can finally see me. And I talk about my book, as everybody who comes and listens to my show on a regular basis, you can now see it, the cover of my book above my head. This is my gallery wall behind me. I have a copy of my book right here, Postcards to the Universe, Harness the Universe's Power and Manifest Your Dreams. And of course, I talk all about manifesting, and that's what I have in the book, manifesting postcards. And when people's manifestation showed up in the reality, I shared it in the book. And you can find that on any of Amazon, Barnes & Noble, even your local bookstore. You can just ask them to get it in for you if it isn't already there. So this is like wild, like seeing myself on TV now instead of just hearing my voice is really kind of cool. And if you have been following me, you know that I've been making videos, and I've been doing daily videos of oracle card readings, of I'm learning tarot. So you're watching me learn tarot. And also I'm doing about 5 to 10 minute videos of me. You see my face, of me talking about things that are inspirational, talking about things that I feel are really important, because I want to put as much good into the world as possible. I feel like there's always negativity. That's all we ever see is negativity. So I want to contribute as much positivity into the world as I can. And I've been doing this on my YouTube channel, which I'm really trying to promote. So if you are interested, please go over to Postcards to the Universe on YouTube, and you can, if you're not watching there already, please subscribe, like my videos, let me know what you think. And, you know, I'm really trying to grow that community. So I would love it if you would come over there and check me out. Now, I have a really cool guest today, and I'm going to bring her on in just a second. But before I do that, I was on Kathy Beal's show, who's also on Om Times TV, on Monday. And we did a whole thing about me. I was the guest, so I got to talk and show a lot of the oracle postcards that I made. I made them from my photographs from manifesting postcards. And we shared, I think, 10 of them. Yeah, I think we shared 10 of them. And then I ended up pulling a card for the show. And what they are is people sent me a postcard of something they wanted to manifest. And then I put my creative energy into it, and I photograph it, and I share that to the world. And I've been making these oracle cards. So I have them here, and obviously I'm not going to go through all. There's 52 of them. I will be adding more, but I did want to pull one for today's show. So this is today's first show postcard that is on television that you could see. It's turning vision into reality. And the reason I wanted to do this card for this show right now is obviously because my reality is now I have my own show on TV. So I started working Postcards by just making small postcards, and it's been growing and growing into a collaboration with other people. Then I did the radio show, and now I'm on video. So this is for you who are watching right now to think about, what is it in your vision that you want to turn into your reality? Think about that. So that's today's affirmation for my very first Om Times TV show. All right. So now I want to get to my guest today, because you guys know I love having conversations with other people. I could talk to myself all the time. I really, really don't want to do that on a regular basis. I like to see what other people are doing, right? The Gemini in me. All right. So we're going to bring out my guest, Lynda Samphire, and she's a highly intuitive transformational coach, a trusted guide for those ready to explore their gifts, creativity, and inner wisdom. And she was fueled by the loss of her mother at a very early age. And she's fascinated with human behavior and the mystical, right? Who's not fascinated with the mystical? Lynda's journey has been shaped by profound commitment to inner exploration and self-healing. The whole that she felt more, she desired to support others on their path toward emotional freedom, inner clarity, stress relief, and creative flow, which led certifications. Lynda has certifications in psychology and metaphysical science, Reiki, energy psychology, earth medicine mentoring, transpersonal hypnotherapy, and ICF coaching. Welcome, Lynda. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Melissa, for having me. I'm excited.
But now,
You're live on TV now.
I know. So, Lynda, I didn't ask, and I usually do, but because this is new, how do you pronounce your last name?
Samphire.
Samphire. Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes.
Fire. Okay. And I want to tell you that there's going to be information on to connect with Lynda. You're going to see that in the bio of the show with your website, which is lwsamphire.com. And we have that posted for anybody who wants to check you out. So Lynda, how did you, I always ask my guests because I'm always fascinated, because there's usually a story or something, a catalyst, right, that got you into the work that you're doing. So how did you get into this kind of intuitive work?
Yes. Thank you, Melissa. It really did start with the loss of my mother at age 2. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, there was always just that feeling of the world not being safe. And when we were 2 years old, you're not really aware of what death means, and she's just gone. And that really began a inner grieving inside of me that I did not know what it was. I just knew there was this part of me that longed to be loved, longed to fit in. My father did remarry, and I had a wonderful mother take over, but there was still that loss, still that connection to the mother. And there was a lot of functioning anxiety and depression. That really showed up in overachieving, proving myself, wanting to earn my love.
Makes
and
sense.
Yeah, just really exhausting and really trying to work outside of myself, not even understanding what manifestation meant, how we go through this human experience. And that's what really started connecting me more to the mystical part of things and just human behavior in itself, and like why we're here.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always that catalyst, right? Because you talk about, people who are getting out of being stuck in depression and flowing into, and flowing into thriving, right? Because so many people get stuck in depression. And I went through a situational, so mine wasn't a chronic depression that got me into this kind of work. It was situational, right? It was like a 1, 2, 3 hit, and it just kind of took me down, kind of thing. And that was what started me looking for, like, why is this happening? Why did this happen? Why am I going through this? And that's when I started going within, because it's always an inside job. We know that. So how are you, or how did you get out of, like, what was your process of getting yourself out of that you said you had that hole in your heart, like something was missing and that you were seeking things outside? Like, how did you transmute that energy?
Yeah, I lived like that for a really long time, not even thinking there was something wrong,
Sure.
right? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like I didn't have anxiety to where it could be diagnosed or depression. It was just that functioning. Um, I finally just got so tired that I just surrendered. And I started working more towards, it's funny, I started as a hairdresser, um, which is a type of healer in a sense. And then
Oh, definitely.
yeah. So moving more into studying, psychology and then moving into energy. So it was all of that because when we're doing this work, when we're studying, we're working on ourselves. So it was really when I started turning it inwards and working on myself and stopping the earning and the proving of self. And that was good for a while. And it wasn't till about 5 years ago, I was at that point, like there's still something, just that dial that needed to click.
Yeah.
And I ventured into microdosing and plant medicine. And then that
Yeah.
did everything. That just really opened everything up. I really was able to look at some really deep wounds that I may
Yeah.
not have seen and then move through them. And
Yeah.
I had quite a few mystical experiences through my life too. And I think that was always kept me like, there's more. I know there's more. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the microdosing, because that's kind of the work that you help people work through with microdosing, breath work, and dealing with trauma. So what are we talking about when we're talking about microdosing?
We're talking about a very sub-perceptual dose of a psychedelic where we're not altered, but just enough to kind of fine tune. I really look at our nervous system is that conductor of our human experience. And we're really in the space right now where, and when we're going through what both of us have described, where our nervous system is gripping, right? So I feel like the bridge is the medicines. They build this
Yeah.
bridge between energy and embodiment, spirit and form, the human experience, and it's how source moves through us is that nervous system. So
Yeah.
the medicines really come in and help repattern and restore all the imprints that have kept the
Right.
protective mechanism up. So the quiet coherence the medicines do is help soothe this as a ally, as a bridge, not as an escape, not as being altered,
Right.
so that we can kind of drop our shoulders and then we begin to feel spirit coming in. We begin to have the confidence and the trust that aligns with our own innateness.
And you're
And we
talking about psychedelic mushrooms, right? That grow from the ground. Yes.
Mhm.
So this is nature's medicine, which I find super interesting that all became illegal, that marijuana, things that grow in the ground, things that have been used in ceremony for centuries, right? And who was it? Timothy Leary, who was doing all sorts of work in the 60s with psychedelics, and the government was originally behind it. And then what, I guess the pharmaceutical industry said, well, we can't make any money if people can self-heal. So we have to stop that. Right. And now you
Yes.
have to buy our pills, which become addictive. It's interesting. It's interesting. So, and now I think we're circling back. We're circling back.
Yeah. Great point to bring up because that's the
Mhm.
one misconception about psychedelics is they are not addictive. It's not a
Right.
forever
Yeah.
thing. You heal. I always look at
Yeah.
these medicines from the earth, they heal us.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they
That's
don't
why
just
they're there.
I
Right? Like,
know.
why would God give us the opportunity to have that if it wasn't there to heal us on some level? And, the people, the indigenous people have known about this for, eons, right? So,
Yeah.
so what made you start? Like, did you start doing the microdosing with you working with somebody else to heal you first, and then you decided you wanted to bring that into your practice with your clients? Is that how your journey
Yeah.
went?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very important. I mean, moving into psychedelics, it always kind of been in the back of my mind, but however, I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure it was within a very safe space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I did find that, and I found a container to be able to begin microdosing with psilocybin. And started that. It's interesting because what psilocybin does is it kind of knocks on those emotional doors like, hey, are you ready to look at this? Are you ready to look at this and open this? And so
Yeah.
we can have a lot of these emotions come through: anger, sadness, happiness,
Sure.
joy, the full spectrum of being human. And the nervous system at that point can sometimes kind of go, nope, 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 nope. This has been our protective mechanism. And so there's those containers that help us move through that. So it really was that softening. I would think the first month I started microdosing, I felt very like I just started having all this kind of, I work as a channeler. And so I had started having more downloads, manifestations were happening like that.
Yeah.
And because it raised that frequency, right?
Yeah, you're clean. Yes, absolutely. Because that's what it is. Like I do it through the creative project of making a postcard, and that's just so that we can change our frequency. But if you're a low frequency, you can do as many affirmations as you want. You're not gonna bring anything. You're not going to be manifesting those things you say you want if you're not in that frequency of being
Most
what you want,
definitely.
having what you want, right? So
Well, yeah.
yeah.
And I think with the mushrooms, I said, okay, we're going to show you what's possible. And then the
Available.
second month I went, oh, what just happened? And
Wow.
I became very tired because I think my
Yeah,
body was
you're
overworking
processing.
itself anyways. And then sadness came in and I really needed to work through that. But it was all that stuff that's just been sitting in there, all that
Yeah.
stagnation. And my whole intention was to step into my full power. And these
Right.
medicines work in a way, it's like, okay, we need to move this and this. And that's where that integration and container is so powerful. Otherwise, we might just go, well, this isn't working. I don't feel that great. But
Yeah.
you will. The other side of it is beautiful.
So, and it's very different from people doing ayahuasca, right?
Well, yeah, we're not talking about a large dose here. We're talking
Right.
about a microdose.
Right.
I do hold retreats for large psilocybin doses, but
Okay.
there's a relationship with the medicine that we want to develop first. And yeah, you're not altered.
Right.
The trees may look brighter.
Right.
Our sense of smell may come forward, our sense of taste. We may be drawn to different foods that we want to
Yeah.
eat, nourish the body. We may our intuition begins to open more because we start to have
Yeah.
more trust in ourselves, and that nervous system softens. So,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think if you look at the world, you can tell that we're all running on nervous anxiety driven energy, right? You just go on the news or go on any kind of social media. And if you look at one thing, the algorithm then changes and everything you're shown is anxiety driven, anxiety driven, anxiety driven. And you're just like, whoa, it's too much coming at us at once. And so I think
Well,
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And
go ahead,
you
Lori.
teaching manifestation, we know what we focus on, we bring more
Right,
to us, right?
right.
And I work with a particular medicine to begin people on called Amanita muscaria, and that's that red and white iconic mushroom. It is legal in the US except for Louisiana. And I believe she is this beautiful elder and medicine of our moment. She works with the central nervous system. So think of Amanita as tilling the field where
Okay.
psilocybin aerates. So we want
Okay.
to prepare the body. We want to prepare the nervous system. We really want to start sleeping because we're not sleeping.
Yeah.
And it works with our GABA receptors and that system. So soothing directly with the central nervous system, moving from sympathetic to parasympathetic. And then the ripple effect is the vagus nerve can then drive. The amygdala can do its thing. Our pineal gland opens up. And we have this oversense feeling of just ebb and flow coming back, calmness. Then, so normally I'll kind of start people on that for the first 30 days.
What was it called again? What kind of?
Amanita muscaria.
Amanita muscaria. Where is it out of? Is it out of
Well, I just saw
Central
one the other day
America?
here in the Pacific Northwest.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it grows here in the
Okay.
Pacific Northwest.
But it's
We
illegal,
do.
or it's legal everywhere and illegal in Louisiana, or it's legal in
It's
Louisiana.
legal everywhere, but illegal in Louisiana.
Oh, so even Florida. Interesting.
Yes. And so I like to start
Okay.
my clients out the first 30 days on that to
Okay.
restore the body. And in this moment, like you mentioned, in the body,
Yeah.
we need to come to this state of calmness, because if we're like this, are we really ready to work with our emotions?
No.
No. So we want to
No.
restore the body. And then when I see people, doing yoga, doing meditation,
Yeah.
it's just not holding, then the
Yes.
nervous system can feel safe, loosen its grip, and then maybe we move into psilocybin. Some people are just fine with the Amanita. Like, you know what? I feel really good. Creativity comes in because source
Yeah.
has the ability, the universe
Yes,
can then move
absolutely.
through us. Yeah. But if the central nervous system's like this, so that's like the core of
Yeah.
my work, is getting this soothed. And then
Right.
our dream world opens up.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah. And I imagine it would help a lot of women who are going through perimenopause and menopause, because I can tell you from having the experience myself that I have always, the sleeping is just, I don't know. I was always a good sleeper, and it just like decided to stop. And I went, oh my God. So I can imagine that, because unless you're going through it, and probably a big portion of my demographic are women who are at least in perimenopause or menopause, something shifts in your body, and your nervous anxiety level goes up to such a degree. Like, I couldn't even believe it, because overall, like, I'm pretty chill, like I'm a pretty chill person. I have my moments, but my anxiety shot through the roof when my hormones started to change. So I imagine that this would be very helpful to women who are also going through the
I hear
hormonal
you.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you with that. And Amanita is wonderful for sleep hygiene. So taking Amanita at night, or you can take it during the day, or you can take it twice a day, and really helping soothe so we sleep better. They are finding a lot of studies now with both with psilocybin and Amanita balancing our hormones. And
Interesting.
yes, yeah. So there is studies coming forward. But I think, like, kind of supporting ourselves through a time that we don't like to talk about a lot.
Right.
Yeah. As women, we kind of like, we almost keep a little bit more quiet. We're getting better, but we keep.
Yeah, we're getting better. We're getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we need to get better, because this is, this is a reality. Yeah, they'll have no problem like prescribing you Klonopin or Ambien, right? Like, no problem. But you ask for this, they'd be like, oh, I can't do that.
Isn't that interesting? Amanita gets kind of a bad rap as being poisonous. However, she's not. She is, now there's the death cap Amanita that is, but the Amanita muscaria, the fly agaric, if eaten out of nature, we will get sick, which is with many things. So there's a very particular processing that Amanita
of course
goes through. Yeah. They're very indigenous to Siberia and Russia. Really, the shamans used to use for addiction. And vodka sales then went down in Russia. And as we know, vodka is a commodity. So what happened? At that point, they ran the shamans out, and Amanita became illegal for a time.
Wow.
Also, the fun story is we can relate Amanita to Santa Claus. Has a lot of folklore. Well, it's said that the shamans would dress up in red outfits, and they'd go out and gather underneath the trees is where amanitas grow. They have a mycorrhizal relationship with trees, and they would gather their mushrooms. They would bring them back because of the snow.
Mm-hmm.
They would go down the chimney, and then they would put the amanita in socks to dry, and then give them as gifts to people. The reindeer can eat amanita out of nature, and it causes them to dance and prance around. So there's a lot of folklore around it.
Oh my God. And that's the red and white mushroom, right?
Yes. Very iconic. Yes.
Yes. Wow. See, you learn something every day. That's why I love having this show, because that would never even, and with Christmas coming up now, I'm going to be looking at it a whole different way.
Well, you see it show up at Christmas a lot. Yeah. You see
Yes. That is so fascinating. Yeah. And I want to get into talking about how some of your clients how it's shifted some of your clients, and we'll talk about getting into the dream work. But I just looked at the time. Why don't we, before we get into that subject, let's take our break now, and then when we come back, we'll talk more about that.
Perfect.
Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Om Times TV, a division of Om Times Media and Broadcasting.
Do you have a dream that feels just out of reach? What if you could send a message to the universe and watch it come true? Hi, I'm Melissa Caprio, creator of the Postcards to the Universe project. For years, people from all over the world have sent me their dreams on a simple postcard, and I've seen incredible things happen. Postcards to the Universe, harness the universe's power and manifest your dreams, gives you the tools to create a life you love. Learn how to turn your biggest desires into a clear, powerful message the universe can hear. It's time to stop waiting and start creating. Discover your power to bring your dreams to life. This isn't just a book, it's an experience. Discover your purpose, unlock your potential, and manifest your wildest dreams. Find Postcards to the Universe by me, Melissa Caprio, wherever books are sold. Get your copy today. Start writing your story, one postcard at a time.
Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Om Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Om Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Om Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Om Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Om Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Om Times. Open yourself to the possibilities.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Hi, welcome back. So today I'm speaking with Lynda Samphire, and she is a transformational coach. And we've been talking about energy healing, working with earth medicine, and you guide people in their healing. And you also do hypnotherapy, right? And Reiki and energy and all that kind of work?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I do. I use, I do guided meditations that incorporates the transformation, the hypnotherapy, sorry. And then Reiki, I don't do as much hands-on energy work as I used to. I work with energy in a way,
right?
But I'm very sensitive. So I have to be very careful about hands-on because I take on a lot, even over like a Zoom call I can. So I shifted out of that. If I'm holding, I speak light language. And that's how I transmute.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I have been seeing more people talking who channeling light language.
Yeah,
So
isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is interesting. So share a little bit for people who are like, what are they talking about? I don't know what light language is. Yeah.
It was one of the gifts that came through with the plant medicine, which a lot of gifts showed up or opened up.
Yes.
And light language is one of them, not when I was looking for it. I sneezed 3 times one day in my kitchen and it just came out of me. But it's a kind of a vibrational coherence through sound. It's the language of the soul. It comes from the highest frequency of source. I use it to balance the nervous system as we would like massage or frequency or meditation. That's just another addition. So that's how I work with energy a little bit more now, rather than hands-on. Yeah.
So just so I can get a visual in my head, you have a client and you're working with them, and you can work with people through Zoom, correct? You don't have to be in person. So let's say that we're working through Zoom, since the world now has moved into this digital world, and you're doing light language. Like, is somebody like laying down and you're just channeling and it's coming through and you're speaking that to them? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to picture what it looks like.
No,
if I was your client.
Yeah, I mean, you could just be sitting right there and I could do it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm willing to share if you choose, but we don't have to. I also create meditations that people can listen to while they're walking, when they're falling asleep, to kind of ignite our dream world. So I use a little bit more like that rather than like over a Zoom call. I might if their nervous system is pretty kind of jacked up and we need to really balance it and slow it down. But normally I include all those with my programs and packages. So
Okay.
And,
so that's how so somebody works with you, it's working on a program, and you put something together and obviously I imagine people are coming to you because they are overly stressed or have trauma that they want to deal with, or maybe been holding on to anger and resentment their whole life and they don't understand why they can't get rid of it, and all these things, and how you help guide them. So you have the microdosing as part of the offerings that you're doing for your clients.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess it's like if we had yoga or and nutrition, microdosing, light language, and really working with opening up our intuitive channels and creativity. And the side effect of that is anxiety
comes down.
Sometimes I hate to focus on the condition because I think we can get wrapped up in that story instead of focusing on our creativity, on our own wisdom, on our highest intelligence, and then connecting to source itself, our guides, and working that way. And then the side effect are like, I actually am more focused. I'm not stressed. I'm sleeping better. I don't feel depressed. And those are kind of the side effects. So coming away from focusing on the healing loop and the conditioning, we want that to all shift. And then focusing over here on our beautiful energy, our light, and creating a vessel to where divine energy moves through us. And
that's the healing right there. Right. That's because if you're focusing on the problem, you're just putting more energy into the problem.
We're looping in the story.
We're looping. Yeah. So what have you noticed about people? Because I know you talk about nightly messengers and people's dreams, and how the dream world shifts in like amazing ways when people start doing this kind of healing work. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, I mean, if we look back on indigenous with medicine, but dreams.
Yes.
They had dream weavers. They had the dreamers, and it's like, okay, we're moving the village. Which way do we go? And they go to the dreamer. I believe dreams are one of the most intelligent forms that we have moving through us. The pathway to the soul, to bypassing the rational mind. So if we want to start building our intuition, start regulating our nervous system, sleep, and start working with our dreams, that's going to flow over into our waking state. Without really having, I was always like, why not do this while I sleep? Because I've always been a very vivid dreamer. So, and let's remember that dreams are the original form of emotional regulation, how we regulated our emotions, how we compressed the day, metabolized it, right? And we're not sleeping because our nervous systems and because the world is chaos and we need to work, we're working and doing and doing and doing and doing. And so we're not creating from a space of consciousness where we can do that in our dreams. Most of my programs have come with ideas from my dreams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you remember, see, my thing is I have very vivid dreams. I used to remember them better than I do now. But now that my sleep has been interrupted and I'm unfortunately using medication to help me sleep, what's happening is I have the dreams, but I'm not remembering them like I used to remember them, and I'm trying to now get back into the sleep. But I always have had the craziest dreams.
I bet you have. I mean, just look at the work you do. I bet you have. Yeah. Yeah. And do.
Yeah. It's like, and things don't like if it was a movie, you would be like, what is going on in that movie? You know what I mean? Like sometimes they're not cohesive at all. It's just flashes and it changes. And it's wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, and our dreams aren't they're not stories from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And the soul speaks to us in symbols. So there's codes in those for us, right?
Yes.
And so it's really learning our own soul's language. And so we might just have for some reason, I remember there's like a car in my dreams. So we write that down. We don't need the whole story. We really want to go to what's the feeling you're first waking up with in the morning? Like, what's the feeling? I know I dreamt. I can't remember my dream. Thank you so much for sending me the message. What am I feeling in my body right now? And go to that.
Yeah.
And that's really can show us where we're vibrating through the day that we're not aware of, because we are bypassing the rational mind when we sleep. We're out of duality in a sense.
Yeah.
Right? We're almost very close to that space of oneness.
Yes.
And dreams will come more as we work with them, more as we write them down. I always say, have a journal, have a pen right by your bed.
Yeah.
And we might dream more around a full moon or a new moon. And we can really kind of begin tracking when we dream more and then setting intentions ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hear you with the sleep. A lot of times, though, that can actually be to an advantage. Because a lot of times when we're working with dreams, you might say, okay, make sure you drink water because we want you to wake up in the middle of the night so that you can go back in. That is actually going to increase your dream time by 60%.
Yeah. Well, I do wake up in the middle of the night at least once.
Yeah. So that's actually,
and I have had a dream, wake up, and then go back into the dream. I have had those experiences,
we can do
which
that.
are
And
great.
the important thing is when you do wake up in the middle of the night, to write it down, because we will sit there and go, oh, I got to remember this tomorrow.
And then you don't.
I didn't remember.
Yeah. I find this really interesting. And maybe you, since you study, you work with a lot of dreaming, a person will be in the dream and they'll look like the person and they'll have the characteristics of the person, but they also have the characteristics of somebody else, so they could almost be like two people, showing up as one person, looking like one person. And that energy, I have that happen to me quite a lot. And it's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll go back to we are everything. We are one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And it will show up.
It's wild.
Yes. And so all the people that show up in our dreams are really aspects of us. And there might be, maybe you have like someone shows up in their personality, you remember them as an old friend, and you had so much fun, there was so much joy, and maybe the soul's saying, you need to bring joy. Remember this feeling. Or
Yeah.
maybe there was a belief system or limit or something we took on, an imprint at this point. And it's really not about the other person. I hear so many times, well, I had a dream that my spouse was cheating on me. And then they're mad at their spouse.
Right.
When actuality, we'd really want to look at that. Okay, where in my life am I cheating myself? Am I not honoring me? Am I sabotaging me? And really look at it that way. So again, we're moving into a place where duality exists, but it doesn't. And we know in the oneness of the entire universe, duality does not exist. There's oneness. So that is about the closest you can get to it without some kind of big, huge NDE or maybe a very large medicine to get you there. And that's only for about 20% of people. So I think we want to honor the fact that we're in this beautiful space that we go into every single night.
Yes.
And I studied with an African Sangoma one summer with dream tracking. And in the Kosa tribe, if you are not remembering your dreams, you're sick. And so you're taken you're taken in by the elders, and they watch you and they nurture you and they sit with you for days and weeks until your dreams return, sending you back out to the village, watching you, because if you're sick, your whole village is sick. Because again, in the large spectrum, we are one.
Right.
So what we
that makes
do,
so much sense.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense. Yeah, that is fascinating. I noticed, and I know this happens a lot when you go through a traumatic experience with someone, like say a breakup or a divorce or a broken friendship. You dream about that person a lot in the beginning. And do you think that's because on some level we're working on the healing of the hurt in our dreaming space? Like
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I had many dreams about my mother. And the ability we have to heal when we sleep is huge.
Yeah.
Even
Sleep
just
is so
asking,
important.
like I'm experiencing, the soul is experiencing heartbreak right now through me, and I need to be held. I need a healing. There's a lot of things that can come in. And if we don't remember our dream, we still say thank you for the healing in the morning.
Right.
Because we know that the channels are open and listening. So I believe 1000% we're healing in our dreams every single night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've heard that. I've heard that a lot. And that's why sleep is so important. And that's why you can literally die if somebody, and they can torture you by keeping you awake, because we need to sleep.
Yeah. So sleep hygiene.
Yeah, sleep hygiene is so important.
I think most of my clients are showering before bed. Like I tell everybody when I'm in my programs and we're working with dreams, that shower before bed, wash the day. In fact, I just found an article just came through. People who shower before bed, and most of them are more empathic, more sensitive, and just rinsing the day off, and it can get us ready for sleep too. So, But bringing that back, I mean, we are missing gold in this opportunity here. And how you talk about postcards to the universe, we can write a postcard to our dreams, manifest. You're talking to the universe. So put it under your pillow. It's a beautiful way to begin creating.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And we may not get, we're not going to get that, do this, then do this.
Right.
We're going to get all, but to keep track
we're
of
going to
it,
get insights, and we're going to come across something that may help, maybe like, oh, that's interesting. I got that email today and I was just asking this question, and that's how it all works. Yeah.
Just by dream tracking, if you were to just to write down every morning, a bird, a ball, everything down without even needing to know what it means, maybe a feeling, right there, you're going to enhance your intuition. You're going to cognitively improve just by doing that. That's all you have to do, really. We get more curious. I
Yeah.
love to kind of not push people towards dream dictionaries,
Okay.
because what a blackbird in your dream, you may have been attacked by a blackbird when you were young.
Exactly.
I may have found a baby one and raised it to health.
Yeah. Yeah.
So building our own dream dictionaries, because signs will become repetitive within the dream,
Right.
and because it's about us.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that you keep a dream journal you
I
keep a dream book.
do.
Yeah. You
And I
must.
don't write in it every night, but
No. Yeah.
lately I've had some really, really, really big ones.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I've been writing about them.
There's a couple of women that they're called Dreaming Women that I follow on YouTube, and they talk a lot about the visions and talking to their guides and the things that they're channeling, right? Especially right now, what's happening in the world and how everybody feels so disconnected, but it's real deep shadow work that is happening right now to kind of come up to heal so that we can, consciously move forward as a collective, because we are all connected. We are all one. So, and a lot of them talk about astral travel in our dreams. What do you think about that? Do you believe that we astral travel in our dreams?
We all do. We all leave the
We
body.
do.
The soul leaves the
Yeah.
body. All of us do. I just
Yeah.
don't think we remember. I've had a lot of OBEs, especially lately.
Yeah.
And I have been in the
I would
angelic realm.
love to have one where I remember it. Like, I'm sure I do. I know I do, but I don't remember them. And I would like to be like,
There's a
oh,
concept I teach.
I'm having one right now.
Yeah. Just like, I think just like, first of all, knowing that you do.
Yeah.
There's practices I teach and
Yeah.
platforms to move into
Oh, fun.
to help kind of bring that in. What happens is fear.
Yes,
Fear
of
always
course.
comes and takes over, and that nervous system's like, no, 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 and we
Yeah.
stop. So it's about surrendering into divineness and wisdom. Eventually, we're gonna have to pee, so we are coming back to the body.
Right.
But
Right.
yes, so I think like working with dreams consciously, I think lucid dreaming will come in, out of body experiences will come in, and astral travel. And I shouldn't even say come in, we will remember.
We'll
This is a
remember
remembering.
because
This
it's
isn't,
already happening, but
yes,
most of us are not remembering it's happening.
no, exactly. And then we get into really practicing through our life the lunar solar loop, I like to call it. So we're night and day. And then a lot of our dream symbols will actually start showing up during the day.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me, and it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Now, what do you think about people who suffer from insomnia? What do you think's going on there? Do you think there's a more deeper meaning about it than just the physical?
Well, let's look at the definition of insomnia. It's trying
Mhm.
to sleep. What happens when we
Right.
try to do something?
Yeah.
So really, I think we have to first look at our language. I have insomnia. I have insomnia. What happens? I mean,
Yeah.
we're manifesting, right? We're constantly
Right. Oh,
manifesting.
absolutely. Yeah.
So we need to look at that. We might be looking at, are there night terrors that they're having? Is it anxiety attacks in the middle of the night? What
Interesting.
is their sleep hygiene? What are they doing? What are they eating before bed? What did we watch on TV? That stuff doesn't bother me, so it's hard for me to
Yeah. Yeah. Like some
but
people, like I can watch anything on television and go to bed, but I can't fall asleep to the TV. So I need
I'm
like
the same way.
I can watch whatever, I'm done, and then I go into my room and I either like listen to something meditative or vibrational, or I'll listen to a book that I like, and then I start to relax. I can't have a TV in my room to sleep.
So I think, and I am not diagnosing here anything insomnia, but my perspective is some of it is a behavioral, habitual, like we've convinced ourselves so much we have it. Another thing, and this will sound kind of weird, is mouth taping.
Mouth wedding? Taping?
Taping. Mm-hmm.
Tape over your mouth?
Yeah, they sell. If you go to Amazon, you go mouth tape, it's going to come all up. shutting our mouth, because if we're mouth breathing, that's going to interrupt our sleep too. We're not getting.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I
I've done
didn't
mouth
know.
taping for 3 years.
You
And
do.
I
You do
don't
it
clench
every.
I do. I don't clench my jaw anymore. I
Mm.
wake up more rested. I don't have, my mouth is not dry. I feel like I can just relax my jaw and it's held.
Interesting.
Yeah, my
'Cause that's
medicine
where you
woman I
you
worked with.
hold your tension, I guess. You grind. Did you grind in your sleep or something?
Yeah, I was like,
Mm,
no.
yeah.
Yeah. There's the stress. I mean, this is one of our largest, strongest muscles right here.
Right.
And we can
Right.
always go like this and feel,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so the mouth taping really helped me with that. And more energy in the morning because
Yeah.
I was sleeping, more REM, more dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, what's the temperature in our room that we're sleeping in? Are we showering at night? Like,
Yeah.
there's so much to do with sleep hygiene. I
I
think we
keep
have
it
to look.
very cool. I like it
Me
cool.
too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Oh,
has
yeah.
to be.
Of course,
I
right?
can't sleep
Hormones.
when I'm hot. No way. I like it cold. I like to be under the covers. I have 2 fans going on. It is like, yeah, but you sleep better. I did read that people sleep better in colder temperatures than in warmer
Yeah,
temperatures.
mine's like 58 to 61.
Oh, wow. You really go. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
get
they've had studies. Well, and
Mhm.
also I think looking into a weighted blanket can sometimes help
Yes.
us sleep.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff in my sleep, and so I have a weighted blanket that really helps.
Okay. That helps you.
Soothe.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. And
I,
I mean, truthfully, I sleep better when I'm sleeping by myself than when somebody else is next to me.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yes, I think that with very sensitive, empathic, and
Hmm.
intuitive
Oh, for
people,
sure.
because we're taking on the energy of the other
Yes.
person. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why the shower before bed, just as you
Hmm.
just think it, like cleaning your aura field and just rinsing
Yeah.
everything off, and I'm just ending my day, letting the day go. It's like night and day for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Movement, are we moving during the day?
I move all night too. I'm this to this to this to this. I am a big proponent of people having their own bedrooms, and even in relationships. That's just a thing that,
I think that's
you
actually super popular now. That's
yeah,
a
you
thing.
come together when you want, and then I'm a
I
big
read an
proponent of
article on
that.
that, and the article was really removing the shame around it. And
Yeah. Yeah, you
because
don't
I
have to
think that
sleep
one of the
together
things
to
we're not.
have intimacy, right?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, and that doesn't take that away.
it
However, are we
doesn't.
gonna have more energy to have intimacy if we're
Exactly.
sleeping?
Exactly. Exactly.
And one of the things we miss is our NREM cycles, and during those sleep cycles, the brain is cleaning itself out, and one
Yeah.
of the proteins that gets cleaned out is the beta amyloid protein linked to
Mm,
Alzheimer's. If you are not sleeping, that is building and building and building. So I
interesting.
always, when I see someone or hear someone developing memory loss at a later age, I always ask, did you drink alcohol? And how was your
Mm.
sleeping?
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
Not that we can say that's what it is, but it'd be interesting to
Yeah, but you're just
study.
looking at if there's a correlation there, obviously.
Yes.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
not diagnosing. Now I'm assuming the microdosing helps with people getting better sleep. That's
Especially
another.
the Amanita. Yeah,
Yeah.
Amanita
Yeah.
muscaria I use with Dreamwork and sleep hygiene, and then all over
Mhm.
just stress reduction and anxiety. Yes.
Mhm. Now let me ask you just your opinion. This is just your opinion. What do you think about people microdosing who are on the spectrum? Who are
Hmm.
nonverbal on the spectrum. And I'm asking this because I have a nephew who's
I did
11
work with
who
somebody
he's
on the
verbal, but
spectrum.
he can't speak. And I just wonder, I mean, he's, his parent, this is obviously would have to be his parents and he would have to be a little bit older. I'm just wondering, what if you've ever worked with anybody and how that's been.
I have. I worked with one person on the spectrum, and we worked with Amanita and found it helpful for more
Yeah.
focus. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
also there's a book out there called Autism on Acid, where
Oh,
a guy who was autistic and started microdosing LSD.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it might be of interest.
Well, yeah. Well, my nephew's only 11 now, and my sister
Yeah.
and my brother-in-law. But eventually, you know, when he's an adult and wherever he's at, you know, it's something that you never know. I mean, I know they're both open to that, all that kind
Well,
of stuff.
and both
Too, so, yeah.
they're finding with psilocybin too. But when I worked with Amanita, she was, I think, 16, and yes, did find it helpful.
Okay, that's
More
very, very
calming,
interesting.
a little less reactive, more calming. It's not a fix or a cure-all, however, but it did create a little bit more regulated nervous system and soothing.
Yeah, and I just wonder how that would open up pathways to the mind too. You know, which is
then that's where psilocybin comes in. We're working with the neural pathways.
Yeah. See, that's really interesting. So we only have like 30 seconds, Lynda. Tell people how they can reach you if they want to work with you and how to connect with you.
Yeah, so my website is lwsamphire.com. I have a beautiful program coming up in January called the New Architecture of Being. And we're gonna be working with both Amanita and psilocybin, if chosen. You don't need to. Coming to rhythm with the body. So that's up there. I have an Amanita ebook, download free.
We're gonna get cut off, but I will put your website on and just reach out to her. I'm so excited. Thank you
so much. How beautiful.
Oh my God. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to my first TV show, Postcards to the Universe with Melissa, creating the life you crave. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.